Survival games are one of my favorite genres, and today we are starting something big. In this series, we are going to build our open world survival game in Unity, inspired by games like Last Day on Earth. We are going to create everything step by step, gathering resources, building bases, fighting zombies, crafting weapons, and eventually even multiplayer. But today we start from absolutely nothing, so let's jump to Unity and let's create a 3D project. Let's call it Rustborn. Make sure that you are working with Universal 3D URP. Create project. I'm using the Universal Render pipeline because it gives us pretty good visuals while still staying optimized. So especially important for survival games with large environment. The goal of the project is not just making random mechanics, but we want to feel like it's a real game, a world where the player can explore, gather resources, survive, build a base, fight the enemies, and slowly progress over time. So, and honestly, one of the coolest things about game development is seeing the project evolve episode after episode. This is going to be a very large series. It's about 60 videos, all about game mechanics, UI, gameplay, killing zombies, fighting, exploring, and moving around the map. Before I start writing codes, I always like organizing the project properly. So trust me, once your game starts growing, having a clean structure saves you a lot of pain later. First, we are going to create some folders. First, let's create a new folder for scripts, another folder for art, another one for materials, another folder for animations, prefabs, and audio. Before we touch movement or gameplay for the players, we need a world. Nothing crazy for now, just a small environment that we can start testing our systems. One mistake a lot of beginners make that is trying to build the entire world immediately. But in game development, especially for survival games, iteration is everything. So start small, make the system work, and then expand later. Now inside the Unity editor, game object, 3D objects, terrain. Let's just create a new terrain, nothing fancy, and let's call it terrain. Now all we need to do is to import our models. So this is the player, and inside the art we are importing a 2D texture for the player. For now we only need to do one thing. Let's import the player to the scene and let's change the scale 100. Let's click on F to zoom on the player, and now let's select the player, select the texture, and just apply it to the player. The mapping is working perfectly. Now inside the animation folders, let's import our animations. So we have two animations, one idle and one running. So I downloaded this animations from Mixamo along a couple of basic animations. For now we only need two things, idle and running. That's enough to start building the movement and making the game feel interactive. Now it's time to make our character actually move. But before writing any code, I want to set up the animation system correctly, because in survival games, animation logic became huge later, because eventually the player might hold an axe, a torch, a pistol, a rifle, or maybe nothing at all. So, and every single item can completely change the way the character moves. So instead of making something quick and messy, we are going to build this in a scalable way from the beginning to the end of all animations. So we can have multiple animations for walking with the torch, working with the pistol, or idle with the pistol, idle with the torch. It's going to be very huge. So we need to make it scalable before having anything messy in the end. Now I'm starting by creating a new animator controller. We call it player animator. this is just for running and idling. But the structure matters more than the amount of animation. So we need to create a new parameter of type float. We call it speed. This is the speed the player is going to move. Instead of directly switching animations manually in code, I'm using parameters. This is make the system much easier to extend later. For example, different weapons could affect movement speed, stamina could slow the player down, injuries could change the movement style, and all of that can plug into the same animation system. Now, instead of hard switching between idle and run, I'm creating a new blend tree. This gives us smoother transitions and looks much more natural. So it also scales by better later when we add walking, sprinting, crouching, or combat movement. Now let's double click on the blend tree. Okay, and let's add a new motion for the idle. Make sure we have idle here and we have running here. And here you can see this is idling and this is running. And for the speed parameter, we want to make 0 for idling and 1 for running. Now let's add a new component called character controller. So, and on this, all we need to do for the center on the Y is 1, and for the C is this, and for the radius 0.3, and for the height make it 2. So for this prototype, I'm using Unity character controller. So I select the player, added new component, and searched for character controller. This gives us collision and movement without needing a rigid body. So it's simple, scalable, and perfect for this first version. Now inside the scripts folder, okay, scripts, let's create a new script, mono behavior, and call it player movement. Now before we proceed with code, we need to configure our animations. So select the idle and go to reg, generic, set it to humanoid, and create from this model. Apply. And for the running animation, select humanoid and copy from other avatar, and here you can select the idle avatar and apply. And now select the idle and make sure that you apply the loop time is checked, apply, and for the running too, we need to select the loop time. One more thing you need to do is select the idle and go to the model and make it 100. For the running too, do the same thing. And now we are going to import our idle inside the map. Okay. And for the idle, we are going to use the same player animator, and when we hit play, we can see that our player is already idling. When we go to the animator, once we select the blend tree, we can see that our player is already running. So in the next step, we are going to do this using a script. Okay, now let's apply our player movement and go to the FBX and copy these values. Okay, let's hit play. We can see that we have a default animation, it's the idling, and once we click, our player can move forward, left side, and right side. But if you see that our player is not moving so good, he is making some rotation with the hip when he is running away. So let's fix this problem. Now inside the animation folder, let's select the running animation, and here you can see that he is moving the orientation while running. So we need to bake into pose, and we need to base it up on original. Don't forget to hit apply. And now let's test again. All is good. Let's test. And now once we started running, we have the standard animation. Okay, it's good. Now we can delete this one, and let's go to the art, and for this let's select it, and let's apply the texture. So now we have done working with this, but I'm going to add some ameliorations. I have imported an idle version 2 with the running version 2 for the idle, for example. Okay, let's go to the model 100. Okay, apply. For the animation, I wanted to loop, apply, and for the reggae, make it humanoid, and for the idle, create from this model, and for the running, make it humanoid, copy, select the idle avatar version 2, and for the model, scale it to 100. And don't forget that we need to loop the animation. Let's loop animation. One last thing we need to do for the running animation, that we need to loop pose, bake into pose, and make it from original, and apply. Okay, and now let's import our idle version 2 here. Let's apply the texture from the art. Let's select it. And on the animation, I'm going to use a new animator controller. I'll call it player animator, and this is the player who has the bag. And here we can create a new blend tree, double click, and here we can add 2 motions. For the first one, it's not this. This is the running, and this is the idling with the bag. And for this one, I'm not sure. this is the idling, and this is for the running. And here, don't forget to rename it to speed, and it's going to be float 0, 0, 1. So this is idling. Once we move on, he starts to run. Okay, perfect. And here we need to apply the player movement. One last thing, we need to copy these values and paste it here. And now let's deactivate this one. Once we hit play, okay, that's a problem. Select this, we need to apply an animator. We set the one with the bag. So now we can see that our new character is starting idling. Once we start moving, he is moving. So good. On the next tutorial, we are going to add some details on the map, on the environment, some textures, and some details.